Oh my God, it's about that time. It's about time to start working again. It's been a long time. It's been such a horrible winter here. But I've been working outside every once in a while when the weather's good, and I'll show you what I got going on. So I finally got my Isuzu on the pad just to work on it. It's easier crawling around on the concrete than it is in the rocks. But so I don't know if I touched base on this. I actually had with this truck is when I was driving it down the highway, a whole bunch of white smoke came out. I immediately shut it off, put it to the side of the road, and I knew there was water getting into my cylinders. I did my research, and there's a whole bunch of coolant lines that run by the intake manifold, and any one of those could mess up. So while I was out here, I plugged up every single line that I could find that goes to the intake manifold and just stopped the water from going in there. I'll actually show you here. So there's this one. It's the thermal, so it heats the throttle body. I think this was my culprit. I think this valve down here, so I just eliminated it. And then there was another one that came up from the bottom and went, shit, I forget where the hell it went to. But so all of that is all plugged up now. And I took the valve cover off. I'll show you why in a second. But it actually looks like this is a brand new head. This truck has 160,000 on it. Maybe less, maybe 100. I don't know what it is. I gotta look. But it looks brand new. So I'm thinking that they replaced this head before, because the valve cover and stuff was painted before. So I know that was off. All right, so let me show you. Some people just shouldn't be messing with stuff. All right, so I'm actually going to repaint this. I'm going to repaint a lot of the intake manifold, and that's what I'm going to be working on now. But as you can see, they just didn't do a good job. They didn't put any primer on here, and everything is just flaking. I didn't touch this yet. I only touched the top, but you can see it's all flake. It's all chipping away. Here's little spots here. Right. Which I'm not going to keep the truck red anyway. So it's going to get repainted and hopefully get this truck back on the road, because I definitely miss this truck and them freaking airplanes. Where is it? I have a little airport that's right by me. I hear planes literally all day, especially in the summertime. So let's keep working here and see how far I get today, which I want to try to get it all back together and get it started. Oh, let me show you another thing, which this pisses me off. So I actually got a cheap header, because the header was shot. And the crazy thing is that it's a beautiful header. It's definitely pretty good for what I paid for it. Now, if you notice this flange, the exhaust flange, right? This is actually put on backwards. If you notice, see how it's a nice straight line on the top and the holes, right? So if I take this gasket, my shed's a mess, by the way. But if I take this gasket and I put it this way, which it's showing, it doesn't fit. You can see the stud right here and the stud right here. Doesn't fit. But if I flipped it, it fits right on. So I'm gonna have to cut that flange off and re-weld it on. I mean, it's not a big deal because eventually this is going K-Series. And I'm just gonna run it. I'm either gonna try to find a whole donor car and just rip the K-Series out, and I have to figure out something to do with the transmission. I think that this trans has a bigger input shaft than the K-Series. So I'm either going to have to do some type of adapter or just do a different transmission with a custom drive shaft. Which a lot of the K-Series guys, a couple of them are using this to drift now, the K-Series motor. And I know they put the ZF transmission from a BMW. I think it's a ZF. Or what are other trans? Or I think it's a 350Z trans. Put in the adapters, but the adapters are a fortune. I think they're like $1,600 just for the adapter. And for the ZF transmission, that transmission alone's like $3,000. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I definitely don't want to pour all that money into the truck because, yeah, I want to, you know, body drop it and have it really nice and bag, you know, but nice paint job, 90s paint job. But I still want to drive it. It's not going to be a trailer queen. It's not going to be perfect by any means. I want to enjoy it. So, we'll see what happens. See what happens here. And I'm going to take you along for the ride. So, all right, let's continue. I'll continue working on that valve cover for a little bit. I'll touch back when that's all done. And we'll see if we get this fired up today. I know I should be wearing my eye protection, but I don't know where it is at the moment. Well, that took a little while, but all the paint's off. The only problem that I see, all these little things, all these little imperfections in the casting, I think I'm gonna try to primer it and then sand it, prime it again, sand it, just to make it look a little better. Or if it fills in and it looks smooth, I'll just rock with it like that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too concerned because this is probably all coming off again anyway. I would rather get it powder coated, like if I was going to have it 100%, and I would definitely get rid of, like, I would have all this welded, like, because I don't need this one, I don't need this one, I don't need these two on the outside, I don't need this. Like, I don't need the breather because I have the PVC valve here. Unless I just keep it and I just put a breather in here. This one I don't need. That's just the old emissions pumps and stuff that I no longer run. I deleted all that. But, all right. I'm gonna let that dry up for a second. And then I'm gonna give it a shot of primer and see what happens. All right, let's do it. Okay, update. So I got the rest of my intake manifold off. Now, I seen this, and I think is what I'm gonna do is, see this channel right here? So this is like a crossover for that piece for the throttle body. So these two came off the throttle, or go to the throttle body to heat it up. And I think that's the only reason why this channel is even in here. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of utilizing this, I'm just gonna go right from the throttle wall, which is right here. So that connects to the intake manifold. So I'm gonna go right from here, and I'm gonna go right into my thermostat. That's where the other side goes. And if that works, then it might be something in here as well, because I see in here it is wet. I don't know how far you can see it. Yeah. I don't know if something cracked in here, maybe. I'm not sure. But as what, like I said, I'm gonna eliminate this whole side, so there will be no water at all going to my intake manifold. I'm gonna plug all these up just so if there is anything wrong in here, I won't have a vacuum leak. So let's see how that thing goes. But yeah, so, and I noticed right here too, it looks like my head gasket's leaking. That's what it looks like. It's coming right from there. I'm not too sure, because look at this. This motor is absolutely gunked up with oil. I gotta like literally pressure wash everything. Look at this. It's so bad. All right, but I think I'm done for today, and I'll let you see what this all painted. I have it all primered. I'm gonna put a coat on of silver, which I'm using Eastwood Aluminum Blast. I love Eastwood products. They're so awesome. Even the spray paint's awesome. It coats very well. I couldn't be happier. That's what the valve cover looks like. There's no clear or anything on it, which I think I'm just gonna rock it the way it is until, because I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably gonna strip this again and do powder coat, like once I finalize everything. But yeah, that's it for now. Damn mess. I gotta get my table out here. I gotta clean up everything in there and get my table so I don't have to work basically on the ground. This thing came out really nice. And this is all the high heat primer. I got two different kinds. I have the VHT, which I didn't use this one because I know this is like really good stuff. And then I got the Rust-Oleum high heat primer. So let's see how they do. If it starts flaking off, then definitely not gonna use that primer ever again. Alrighty, I'll pick this back up most likely tomorrow, and that thing's gonna be a pain to clean. I wish I had a ultrasonic cleaner, which I could just throw it in there, because I would like to paint this too. All right, on to another day. Still out here in my makeshift shop of dreams here, but I did clean it out a little bit. I actually have my toolbox in here now, which I'm not finalizing anything in here yet because the shed's gonna be going over there. This I'm keeping for my pool. I put my pool up in the summertime, so, but it's a little bit easier to work out of. And you know, I follow Make It Custom, and he always says that if you're really starting to get down on yourself and not knowing which direction to go in, just clean up and get a fresh start. And I'll tell you what, like actually going in a I could walk in here now without tripping on stuff. Makes a world of difference. But I actually breezed past all the painting and the freaking and degreasing all this stuff and wire wheeling everything. I'll just cut right to the chase, and I gotta put one more coat on this, and got my gasket on, and everything's gonna be going together for the final time. And hopefully everything goes good. Oh, and I think the problem was right here. I believe it's either this or this. I think one of these is a coolant and one of these are oil, because I was getting a whole bunch of oil seeping from here when I took this intake manifold back off. I do believe it was one of these, or like this maybe, that put water into my cylinders. Something, maybe. Still unsure. But I think it was the gasket that messed up. So let's see what happens with that. Hopefully that once I get it all back together, it runs without getting water in the cylinders. But I did eliminate most of the coolant. The only coolant that I have going through here is from this pipe here. It runs through here, and it comes, that's where my thermostat is. So unless it's cracked inside of where the air goes in, which I really don't think it would, but if I'm still getting water in the cylinders, it's either in here or the head gasket itself, which this looks like a brand new head. Like when I took this off, everything looks brand new. So I don't think it's the head gasket, because I do believe that this head was replaced. But if it is, I do have a new head gasket. So hopefully it doesn't have to come to that, but I'm ready if it is. I just want to get this truck back on the road. Oh, I also noticed another huge problem, because my whole outlook of this truck, I said, was 90s inspired mini truck, which I was doing a whole bunch of research, and I've been like, my mind was going crazy. But I have this Amigo is the same as the Rodeo, not the pickup. So the Rodeo and the Amigo do not share the same chassis as the pickup does. And I'll show you. So here's my issue, right? So just to get more ground clearance, you could see they actually moved the lower control arm down so much more than the pickup. So I don't know if I could just cut the bracket off and move all the suspension up, but I don't want to really mess with all the geometry of this. So I might have to find a pickup frame to swap this Amigo onto, or I could do the full tubular kit off of Grant Fab. Grant Fab makes it, but again, I don't know if it's going to work on the 4x4 chassis, and it might only work on the pickup truck chassis. Or I could just do Toyota front suspension and just cut all this off and redo it, and put the Toyota pickup suspension on it, which a lot of mini truckers do anyway. But that's my dilemma on that. So one step at a time. I want to get this done. I want to get running and driving again. I cranked down the torsion bars, and that's literally how far I could get down. So slammed this year, I don't think so, but we're trying. I want to get this running and driving again and just enjoy it. I really love driving this truck. It's just basic. Like, I just love the basic of it. And plus I had the 91 pickup when I was 18. So like, this is very nostalgia for me with this truck. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on here. I'll touch back when I get everything buttoned up. Here it is, all back together. And a very unfortunate turn of events. It's the head gasket. Because I replaced all the gaskets. There's no water running to the intake manifold at all. And the only water is going into the block from the thermostat. This is the only access point. Besides the crossover. I think the crossover goes in there too. Crossover's down there. But, yep, it's definitely the head gasket. So I gotta rip all this back apart, which, I mean, it doesn't really take me that long. Maybe like half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. But, yeah. So I'm just gonna add this in there because I forgot to say this, but when I had this all together, and I did not put water in my radiator yet, so it was bone dry still. There was no water going into my motor at all, and it started right up and it was running just fine. So that's when I put water in my radiator, and as soon as I went to crank, it sounded like it was hydro locked. My starter was having a hard time cranking. I shut it off, took all the water out, and that's another reason why I'm 100% confident that it's the head gasket. So I just want to throw that one in there. I'm going to end this video here. Please like and subscribe. And I don't know when I'm going to be working on this again, but hopefully very soon. And we'll tear it all down. And if you would like for me to do like a whole how-to video, I mean, I could do that too. So I could just go through this whole entire motor, because I don't think there's anybody that really has tore down one of these motors. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you want me to do that or not. And I'll catch you in the next one. So long for now.